Hello Scorpio friends, I'm Annie Botticelli. Welcome to my December 2019 horoscope report for you. We have a month with very little mischief as it relates to the aspects being made with your sign. Everything, all of the planets moving are making aspects that are more supportive to your sign than usual. Usually every month we've got a little bit, we've got nuisance things, we've got sweet things as far as the mathematical aspects they make to your placement. But this month there is so much more supporting you energetically than there is that's awkward or working against you, which is really, really cool specifically for Scorpio. And in general, the general forecast is also more sweet and supportive versus antagonistic. So you have it coming double that way. I want to talk about the fields of experience or houses. In the chart we call them houses, and to describe what they do, they're fields of experience we have as humans. So I want to talk about the fields of experience that are being lit up for you this month and how you can best use those energies. And I'm also going to show you the charts so that you can have a visual on that for those of you who want to learn. And I'm going to give you the 3 top things to know for the month of December, because it is a busy, very active month. And I'm going to show you the sweet dates and the salty dates, the ones that have the challenging aspects and the sweet aspects. So we're going to cover all of this information and in a very short amount of time. So let's first see those top 3 things to know about the month of December, because understanding those is going to flavor how you take in and use the Scorpio specific information.
Okay, so I'm going to give you this quick overview of the general energy of December 2019. And it's really critical to understand this before we start putting in the pieces for your sign, because it will flavor the whole month, and everything that we talk about that's specific for you is going to have these 3 big pieces that are just overlaying everything. Okay, so there are 3 main things to know about December 2019. The first is that we have way more sweet aspects than salty ones. This happened also in November. It definitely flavors the month when there are more sweet aspects than challenging ones. Your individual chart could vary, because you could have a challenging time going on in your chart, and then the general horoscopes could be like super sweet, and you could be like, well, the horoscopes are wrong, and they're not. The general horoscopes, your personal charts, are all individual pieces of a very complex total picture. But just talking about the general transits, there's definitely more sweetness this month than there is salty stuff going on. And I will give you the dates for those sweet and salty aspects. Big thing to know about this month, time to get it done. December 9th is when the post-Mercury retrograde transit, Mercury went direct on November 20th, but every day after November 20th until December 9th was this kind of Mercury waking up, changing directions. I kind of see this as like making a U-turn. If you're going one direction, you have to slow down, come to a stop, make the turn, go speed up again. Okay, so this period of time between November 20th and December 9th is like coming back up to speed. All right, but from December 9th through February 2nd is the last major open window of all of 2020. 2020 is a year that is entrenched with inward and backward energy from personal planet retrogrades. Mercury, Venus, Mars, all going to be going retrograde. Mercury will be going retrograde 3 times as usual. And this is just going to be a very internal, with themes from the past type of year. So your time to like push things out in a big way is December and January, and you've got awesome aspects this month to do it. There's a massive Capricorn influence, which is also helpful here, because there are just so many planets in Capricorn. Outer planets, the ones furthest from us. Inner planets, the ones closest to us. So it's a time to strategize, get things done, get organized, make plans, just like really take the bull by the horns and to do things. There's also the Sagittarius influence, which is going to make a dizzying, busy, all over the place, spiral, spinning out, exuberant type of energy, which is really nice as a counterbalance to this very serious Capricorn energy. So we do have those Sag influences, and those are going to be coming in a big way, bringing some lightheartedness and optimism and fun to this otherwise very, focused time. The third thing to know is that the eclipse energies are really, really happening now. Okay, I've been talking about these for months before they actually happened, because they can actually show up as major manifestations in months before they happen. But this month we have the December eclipse, which is December 25th or 26th, depending on your time zone. But the whole month, and before December even and after December, major changes. So to see how this is going to affect your sign, very specifically with great detail, watch my November report for your sign. Okay, because in there I talk about all of the details of exactly where you are on the spectrum for your sign, and how that will manifest for you. I did a whole separate video series, a whole 12-set separate video series for the January eclipses. So look for that, look for your sign, lunar eclipse 2020, Annie Botticelli, and you will find these very detailed storylines of how you are very likely going to experience those eclipses, what areas of life are going to be highlighted for you. Okay, now the last thing I want to do here before we get into more specifics with your sign has to do with the sweet and salty dates. Okay, so the sweet aspects, 2nd, 3rd, 8th, 10th, 13th, 10th, 11th, 13th, 15th, 19th, 21st, 22nd, 24th, 26th, and 27th. And I've got them written down here. Okay, the salty ones, 8th, 11th, 13th, 19th, 22nd, 23rd, and 26th. You'll notice some of these are in common. So there are many days this month that there are sweet and salty aspects on the same days. Okay, so you can either, try to align your things with the days that don't have those same things going on, or you can just feel your way through. An aspect happens on a certain day, but our timeline for how we can experience it can be days before or days after. So you just have to kind of feel your way through. If you're like planning a big launch and you're having a crappy day and it's just not, things aren't flowing, maybe wait until everything feels like, okay, 1, 2, 3, now sync up. It's really important for you to learn to feel these rhythms for yourself. I teach you this and give you guidelines, but you're feeling your way through is my main goal. Okay, so those are the aspects to note. Now let's look at these juicy details about how your sign specific energies are going to show up.
Okay, so these houses are fields of experience that we have as humans, 1 through 12. You can see these things here. They look like pieces of pizza. And whenever planets are moving through these houses, those fields of experience become more like in the forefront for us. So that's what we're looking for in the horoscope, is to see what is where so that we know what kinds of things are going to come up. Now, definitely check out my November horoscopes to see where this eclipse, this December eclipse, is going to be hitting you. I go into lots of detail about that for you there. Definitely look at my separate series, January 2020 lunar eclipse for Scorpio video, because that's going to tell you where this January eclipse, and you will be feeling that starting earlier than December likely. So you'll want to definitely watch that. I posted that super early. And I'll do a separate series on this Jupiter moving into Capricorn and how that will affect each sign. Okay, so these big things that are going on, everything is so big that I had to do separate series of videos for them. So we're going to hone in on just some of the shorter term transits and more of like the mundane things here. So the first thing to note is that we have Mars moving through your sign. If you are an early degree placement, okay, so let's just look at our chart here. Early is basically October born, or 0 to 9 degrees. Middle is around November 1st through 10th, or 10 to 19 degrees. And late is around November 11th through the rest of the sign, or 20 to 29 degrees. So you early friends, most of you will have already had this happen at the end of November. But of course I post these early, so this still could be, relevant for you as you're listening to this now. And I'll tell you what this means in a second. I just want to establish what we're looking at. Okay, I'm using the early chart, but what I'm talking about is for everybody unless I otherwise, say which group I'm talking about. Okay, so at the end of November, Mars will hit your Scorpio point if you're an early degree. For everybody else, except the people with the last couple of degrees, you will be having Mars cross over your placement in December. And if you're at the very end of the sign, the first week of January or so, that's when Mars is going to hit your placement. And what does that mean? Mars is your co-ruler, and Mars rules aggression, it rules action, it rules impetus, it rules ambition. So all of those energies are going to be kissing all of your Scorpio placements. So however many Scorpio placements you have, it's just going to bump up on it. It can bring conflict, it can bring antagonism, it can bring fighting, it can bring resolutions, it can bring partnering, it can bring merging, in any different way. It can bring energy, it can bring incentive. So you're going to have, like a major fire lit under your butt with this Mars placement. And again, this is like a super important time to get stuff done, because this year in 2020, we have Mercury going retrograde 3 times, we have Venus going retrograde, we have Mars going retrograde towards the end of the year. And when that happens, it's not going to be as easy to try to push things forward that are new. It's going to be more of a year of inward and backward things starting in the beginning of February. So this is like really helping you to say, okay, December, January, I'm getting all this stuff done. I'm really just going to go for it. And then if a rest is required, you'll have plenty of time to do that into 2020. For those of you at the end, the last 10 degrees or 10 days of the sign, so basically all late degree placements, you're going to have Mercury also crossover. And this has been a theme for a while, because Mercury was in Scorpio, then it went into retrograde in Scorpio, now it's going direct. But those of you at the end, you know, information, very important information, maybe coming in and ways of expressing yourself, or expression projects, creative projects can be, you know, coming into the forefront. All right, so I want to show you just the differences between the early, middle, and late degree charts, and show you the houses that are affected for each of you. And then we can talk about what those, where's my little friend here? Okay, there we go. What that means. Okay, so notice how in the early degree chart, the first, second, and third houses are really happening. Okay, so early, first, second, third. Then when we bring the middle here, first, second, third, but also 12th. Okay, so 12th through 3rd. Then when we look at the late degree chart, keep losing you there, there you go. The 12th is really accentuated, and the 3rd isn't really coming up. Okay? So 12th through 2nd for you late degree placements. So I'm going to just make a little grid and then tell you what kind of things I see happen here. Okay, so we have 1, 2, 3, and 12. And then early has the 1st, the 2nd, and the 3rd. The middle has the 12th, the 1st, the 2nd, and the 3rd. And then the late has the 12th, 1st, and 2nd. Okay. Just going to take a second here to do this. 12th, 1st, and 2nd. All right, so from the chart then, we can see that all early, middle, and late degree people have the first house accentuated. When the first house is accentuated, this has to do with reinvention, rebirth. This has to do with like things involving your physical body. So this makes it a really great time to do crazy new things to your hair, to get a whole new wardrobe, especially like December 9th and on, because then you're free of the Mercury retrograde transit. But if you have to do something super, you know, permanent or a while, like if you cut all your hair off and it would take forever to grow back, or if you buy all new clothes, or if you are going to decide that you're going to give, you know, change your image, change what you do as your profession, change what you call yourself, anything like that, that's first house. Also like diet, you know, weight loss, weight gain, exercise regimens, supplement regimens, anything where you're focusing on your physical body, diagnostics, surgeries, things like that. Now, of course, picking a surgery date can be way, way more complicated if you're drilling down into the details than just this general transit. But if you can't go deeper than that, then in general, after December 9th and all of, you know, December and January has more open time to not have the confusion of the retrogrades adding to a surgery date. So things like that. And that's for optional surgeries, and that's for medical surgeries, anything where you have to do something permanent, especially involving your physical body. Diagnostics, labs, things like that. I always like labs done without the retrograde if possible, because, you know, there's less murkiness around it. Okay, so physical body. Health crises can sometimes come from this. So definitely don't ignore symptoms that come up now, and maybe this is a time where if you've been having symptoms that you go get it checked out. All right, so early, middle, and late. So everybody will have money sector also highlighted. So this is a really great time to ask for a raise. This is a great time to start a business. It's a great time to take on a sustainability project, plant a garden, get a hybrid car, because this is like earth stuff, but this is also luxury stuff as well. So if you've been wanting to buy a new boat or buy some kind of luxury item or a house, this is one of the best months of the year of 2019 and of the year of 2020 for those major purchases, especially like after the 9th. If it's a little bit close there, there's you could be far enough from the retrograde anytime in December, but and there are some nice dates on the 2nd and 3rd for certain things, so if it flows, that could be okay. This also can have to do with you feeling more secure about yourself as far as making money, because making money has something involving confidence, because you have to be confident enough to ask for and command and receive that money. So something involving your self-esteem or healing work around your money viewpoints, how you see money, that can be something else that comes up this month. Or you can just make more money. I see that happen a lot. The 3rd house is accentuated for the early and middle degree placements. Not as much yet for you late degree placements. This is coming for you soon, but not quite yet. And the 3rd house has to do with communication and transportation and relatives that aren't your parents or kids, basically. So you might see, cousins, aunts, uncles, all of that stuff being brought into the forefront. Getting a new vehicle, getting a new computer, getting a new phone. This is a great month for that. And January could be great for it too, but this works out really well, especially since your 3rd house, if you're early and middle, there's a lot of good energy around it this month, and then it will start moving along to the late degrees as we get into January. But, really any of those 2 months are great for that. The 12th house is accentuated for the middle and late degree placements. Okay, so basically, these November born Scorpios, you have this house of your deep inner world. I call it the attic house, where it's like, it's dirty and yucky and dingy, but in general, Scorpios are good at wading through the shadows, right? This is something that is really excellent about Scorpio energy, is that you're not afraid to get down and dirty. So there might still be some inner work to do. There might be some inner turmoil, some, mental constructs that you have to heal or clear up. So this would be a good time for, some hypnosis or working with subliminal, working on your unconscious mind is really coming up for you late degree placements. And you early degree placements, you will have had this more showing up in like November. So, everybody gets all of this stuff. It's just a matter of when. Okay, but overall, super supportive month, because get that stuff out of here. We're just going to use the late degree chart. Scorpio energy flows well with Scorpio energy, so all of the Scorpio placements roll well with yours. They can make things intense, but still. This Sag energy can be a little bit kind of awkward and uncomfortable, kind of like 2 ships passing in the night, but it's very minimal. Even though we think of December as the Sag month, there are very few Sag energies this month. There were more in November, so there's less awkwardness here. And then there's all this energy in Capricorn, and Capricorn makes beautiful angles to your Scorpio placements. Again, I'm using the late degree chart, but what I'm saying is for all of you. So Cap and Scorpio make 60-degree angles. So another important thing to remember about this month is when you have a domination of 60-degree angles, that means like you have to do something with the energy. This is, what do I call it? I was waiting for someone to answer. The pie on the counter, angle. So if you have all these ingredients to make a pie, that's what the 60-degree angle represents. It's like, here are your opportunities. What are you going to do with them? Then you keep passing by. The pie's not made. Annie, where's my pie? Right? You have to make the pie or the stuff's going to rot on the counter. But what's perfect about this time is that you'll have the ingredients to make the pie, or you'll have to go to the store and get the ingredients to make the pie, but you'll have the opportunities to make the pie. So I love that about this month for you, and you'll have the stars that are right for taking action and pushing things forth. So overall, super fantastic potentials for Scorpio.
So definitely go to my website, anniehelpsyou.com, so that you can sign up for my free email newsletter. And when you do, you will get, remember those dates I gave you, the sweet ones and the salty ones? Well, I give a write-up for my email list, special for them, every month, a month early, all the sweet dates, all the salty dates, what aspects they are, what planets are involved, what signs are involved, and what you can expect from those combinations, plus a little general overview written of the month. You get that delivered to your inbox every month, a month early when you go to anniehelpsyou.com and sign up for my free email newsletter. It will look like this. And you will also get my 28-day virtual coaching program called Shine for free when you sign up there, plus other free goodies. If you love how I teach and you want to learn, I'm an astrology teacher. That is my main focus. You at AnnieHelpsYou.com. Besides seeing a massive amount of astrology and other blogs on that site, you can see my astrology apprenticeship program. And if you want to learn how to be an astrologer and make money doing that, I can teach you how to do that. I have people often coming out of my course, even before the course is done, already earning money as an astrologer. So massively comprehensive. If you think my videos are detailed, you should see my astrology apprenticeship program. So you can see that at AnnieHelpsYou.com. And for written horoscopes by me, a month early, and lifestyle blogs, including an astrology for wellness blog that is massively, again, comprehensive, go to cozybysweetstarlight.com. And these links that I'm giving you are all in the notes underneath the video. So if you click on more, then it will be there and you can just link straight through. cozybysweetstarlight.com. It's such a beautiful site. Just go there even just to see how pretty it is. And the last thing, get my book, Radical Prayer, Transform Your Life and the World in 28 Days, with amazing, powerful, radical prayers, mantras, affirmations that will help you claim the life of your dreams. You can get that on Amazon. You can search for Radical Prayer Annie and you'll find it, or you can go to radicalprayerbook.com. It's an amazing handbook for my fellow spiritual seekers. My husband, B.R. Newman, also has all kinds of goodies, offerings, new things all the time at his website, iamhelios.com, iamhelios.com. I hope you have a wonderful month, and I'll see you next month. Bye!